So we now have all of the Truth Dies Zombies teasers. So over on the truthdies.com, there were 6 channels that came out, and now all 6 are filled. But as I make this video, nothing else has happened. We haven't seen a reveal trailer or anything like that. So I real quickly wanted to go through all of these, kind of pause through them and discuss what this means for zombies moving forward and all of the takeaways that we can take away from all of them, because each of the individual ones have very different things that we can take away. So first of all, the ones that we've looked at on the main channel. Let me turn the volume down here. So this one is the channel guide. Now, as far as this one goes, we have the channel for Adler, we have the liar one, nothing too crazy, but where things start to get broken down a little bit is when we go and we have Mr. Peaks jump in. We then go to this. Now, this is very clearly our 4 prisoners. The 4 prisoners being the 4 zombie characters who are on Terminus. We have Gregory Weaver. And as you're going to see in a future one, there's much, much more to this and much more backstory. But we will get to that in a future channel. You see the zombies hand pop up. You see the 4 different TV screens. But you don't really know what's going on there. But what we can put together, this is clearly Terminus Island. This brings us to our next channel, channel number 2. We have a storm moving in. Eventually, this storm becomes Mr. Peaks, and with Mr. Peaks there, we then get our first look at Terminus Island. And this sets up the setting for it, because we can clearly see there's a hurricane moving in on the island, and then we have our character, who I believe is Maya, moving in to save the Terminus crew. But we don't know what has gone on for the past 5 years on Terminus Island. That is until a couple more channels along the way, which we are able to extrapolate as well. Moving on to channel number 3. So this is the big one. This is the big one if you're interested in the zombie story. So CIA breaking news, files have been revealed. Top secret document. So then we have Mr. Peaks sitting on some sort of terminal. Then we have the Project Janus papers. Now I'm probably not going to be able to pause this at the proper times, but first we have Ernst Duffer. Ernst Duffer worked at this very long named German prison, and as we find out, he is doing interrogation on the various different people in the Terminus crew. Sorry, should I say the Requiem crew. As you can see here, Terminus Island, sincerely, Project Janus administration. Eventually, somewhere in here, we do see something from the director. The director wants them to be punished, and we assume that that director is Edward Richtofen. I'm going to try to pause. I missed it. So there's Ernst Duffer, subject Gray Elizabeth or Elizabeth Gray. We also see one of these for Gregory Weaver. I believe the only one that we don't see throughout this is Strauss, and it kind of describes how they have interrogated them and how they have changed over the past 5 years being interrogated. There we go. Here's a good example. So Carver, this one we have trained to counteract interrogation tactics, time to get creative. And then later, the current status is running physical training sessions with his companions has kept him stable, considering isolation. So they might isolate him. And I think this is going to play into the overall story of zombies as a whole. Now, the next one that we move into changes things up a little bit. So this one, it's a little bit more off the deep end, and we're going to see one more channel like this as well. So Mr. Peaks once again comes in, and then this is where we get to see the Mr. Peaks gobblegum machine, which I love what they did with this. And then we have our gobblegums pop up. So most of these are returning, and I did a video over on the main channel that kind of broke down all of these and explained everything that was going on with those. So all of these I have talked about before, whether it be on stream, whether it be on the main channel. Now we get into the new ones. Giraffes. I'm actually going to turn the volume up a little bit on this one.
Watch as this arachnid-like vermin explodes from the frontal lobe of the undead.
Wow. So it almost looks as though we are getting, they say, an arachnid-like vermin.
A rare sight indeed.
It is hard to make out anything that is in that, though. So there it is there, and I don't really see
This arachnid-like vermin
much. There it kind of looks like a pterodactyl, I'm not gonna lie. The arachnid-like vermin explodes in the something of the undead.
A rare sight indeed. Watch as this arachnid-like vermin explodes from the frontal lobe.
From the frontal lobe of the undead. So it's almost like you kill one of the undead and the spider thing launches out of it, almost giving me like some face hugger kind of vibes from Half-Life 2. Then we have one more channel. Now this one's, I think, a little bit more straightforward. So Melee Macchiato, obviously showing off a Perca-Cola can here. Quantity sold 113, but as we play it, keep an eye on that. I believe that does jump off to 115.
Well, you're all in luck because we got a tasty new Perca-Cola flavor. Melee Macchiato.
114.
Yum.
Ooh, and boy, is it deliciously efficient because whether you're facing 10 zombies or 100.
We're going to come back and have a look at that because it first of all says 57,000 calories. But, you know, only 45 grams of sodium, so lots of sugar, though.
Just crack it.
So then it jumps up to 115. Now, I don't see anything too crazy on the can, but the couple interesting things here. RBZ Shopping Network obviously stands for Round-Based Zombies Shopping Network. And then we have our cost, which is 2,500. That would be the cost of a Perca-Cola, which makes sense. But
Can and chug down its powerful perks.
I don't really see anything else in this one.
Thirsty? Is anybody thirsty out there?
Well, you're all in luck because we got a tasty new Perca-Cola flavor. Melee Macchiato. Yum.
Ooh, and boy, is it deliciously efficient because whether you're facing 10 zombies or 100, just crack a can and chug down its powerful perks.
Okay, so I actually don't see anything too crazy there, and I'm trying to see if anyone has actually gone to channel number 5 here, our Giraffes, and been able to get a good image of what actually comes through this one, because honestly, if you ask me, I can almost see nothing.
Watch as this arachnid-like
Like,
vermin explodes from the frontal lobe of the undead.
so I don't know. I personally can't see anything through this one, but what I will say is that is the final one. This is the final teaser on this website, aside from if we actually turn the power off. Did it get you? But yeah, that's essentially it. That's all that's on the website, and I don't see any sort of ARG or anything like that that could be found here. All we know is that there might be flying spiders. There's Perca-Colas do make a return, nothing crazy there. And yeah, not much else I can see throughout these ones. So if you find anything through these, if you found anything that maybe I didn't, some images, you can send them to me over on Twitter, which is always linked in the description of my videos. If you have any other opinions on what is going on in any of these teasers, you can let me know. But that's pretty much all we have for today. Maybe we get more later today, or maybe tomorrow or the next day. But I think within the week, we probably should see a full reveal for zombies. And yeah, it could be any day around the corner. But yeah, let me know what you think of the teasers, and I will see you in the next one.